Urgent. A blockbuster trade could change the Cubs' future, but a major obstacle threatens Jed Hoyer's plan. But before I reveal this bombshell, Cubs fans, make sure to subscribe to the channel so you never miss the latest Chicago Cubs news. Chicago Cubs fans have been stunned by breaking news that could completely reshape the team's direction as the season enters its most crucial stretch. As the front office intensifies its search for an elite addition to the pitching staff, one name has once again taken center stage around Major League Baseball: Joe Ryan, one of the American League's top starting pitchers. However, just when it looked like the Cubs had identified the perfect trade target, a massive complication emerged that could cause this dream acquisition to slip away. Excitement is building across the league with every passing day. As the MLB trade deadline rapidly approaches, front offices are working around the clock, and the Cubs have once again been linked to the Minnesota Twins star. This isn't the first time. Last summer, Ryan was already on Jed Hoyer's radar, but no deal was completed. Now, the interest has returned stronger than ever, and it's easy to understand why. Joe Ryan is arguably enjoying the best season of his career. Dominant on the mound, remarkably consistent, and capable of transforming any starting rotation, he is exactly the type of frontline pitcher Chicago needs to strengthen its World Series aspirations. However, there's one major issue that's making this potential trade incredibly complicated. Unlike last season, when the Twins appeared willing to move several players, the situation has changed dramatically. Minnesota remains firmly in the race for the American League Central title and is still very much alive in the wildcard hunt. That means the Twins still believe they can compete this season, making them far less willing to part ways with one of their most valuable pitchers. Even so, the speculation refuses to die down. ESPN recently ranked Joe Ryan among the top trade candidates ahead of the deadline. MLB insiders Jeff Passan and Kiley McDaniel even estimated there's a 55% chance Ryan gets traded, noting that he was close to being dealt during the previous trade deadline and is pitching better than ever this year. That report has only fueled even more excitement among Cubs fans. If a pitcher of Ryan's caliber is actually available, Chicago has to be involved in those conversations. But this is exactly where the biggest obstacle appears. The Cubs aren't simply looking for a pitcher to help over the next couple of months. Jed Hoyer and the front office want someone who can remain a key piece of the rotation beyond this season and help build a championship-caliber team for years to come. Joe Ryan fits that profile perfectly since he's under team control through the 2027 season. Ironically, that's also what's making negotiations much more difficult. Behind the scenes, concerns continue to grow across Major League Baseball about the possibility of a work stoppage before the 2027 season because of upcoming collective bargaining agreement negotiations between the league and the players. Even if the entire season isn't lost, many analysts believe a significant portion of it could be affected. And that completely changes the value of a player like Joe Ryan. The Twins view Ryan as a pitcher with more than a full season of team control remaining and are expected to demand an elite trade package in return. The Cubs, however, may see the situation very differently. If a work stoppage shortens the 2027 season, Chicago could end up receiving far less value from that extra year of control than Minnesota is trying to sell. In other words, while the Twins are marketing Joe Ryan as a long-term asset, the Cubs may only view him as a pitcher they can realistically count on for the remainder of this season and possibly just part of the next. That difference in valuation could make it much harder for Chicago to justify giving up its top prospects. And that disagreement may ultimately become the biggest reason this blockbuster trade never happens. Jed Hoyer knows upgrading the starting rotation is absolutely essential if the Cubs want to make a serious run at the World Series. Joe Ryan remains one of the best possible fits, bringing elite talent, experience, and the ability to elevate the entire pitching staff from day one. But right now, the Cubs' biggest opponent may not be another team trying to land Ryan. It may be the uncertainty surrounding Major League Baseball's future itself. With the trade deadline fast approaching, all eyes are on Chicago's front office. Can Jed Hoyer convince the Twins to lower their asking price, or will this deal become yet another blockbuster that came incredibly close but never crossed the finish line? The next few days could define the Cubs' entire season. One trade has the potential to transform Chicago into a legitimate World Series contender, or leave fans wondering what might have been if the perfect pitcher never made it to Wrigley Field. Now it's your turn, Cubs fans. I want to hear your opinion in the comments below. Do you think Joe Ryan would be a great addition to the Cubs? Yes or no? Let me know what you think because your opinion really matters. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you never miss the latest Chicago Cubs news.